Can you believe a spy was awarded medals by both the Allies and the Nazis at the same time? One man built a network of 27 agents, all of whom never existed. And his phantom spy ring fooled Hitler and changed the fate of the historic D-Day invasion. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the truest stories in history. Today, we're not talking about gunfire on the battlefield, but a hidden battlefield where victory was decided by intelligence and deception. We're diving into the life of Juan Pujol Garcia, known to history by his code name, Agent Garbo. Garbo was a Spanish hotel manager, born in Barcelona. He wasn't a professional soldier, and he had no formal intelligence training. But he hated fascism and desperately wanted to contribute to the fight against Nazi Germany. Strangely, when he tried to approach British intelligence, MI5, to become a spy, they coldly rejected him again and again. They saw him as an amateur and a risk. But Pujol didn't give up. He decided to make a bold, almost insane move. He would first become a Nazi agent. He believed that if he could convince the Germans to trust him, the British would have no choice but to take him seriously. In 1942, in Lisbon, Portugal, Pujol began his operation. The Nazis, hungry for information, quickly believed him and funded him under the code name Arabelle. But instead of traveling to Britain as promised, Arabelle stayed in Portugal. From there, he created an entire spy network out of pure imagination. He bought travel guides, studied railway maps, and watched documentaries to craft his reports. He invented 27 sub-agents across Britain. One was Agent Sorge, supposedly an airline worker. Another was Agent Dagobert, a conservative Welshman. His reports were astonishingly detailed, yet sprinkled with small, subtle errors, just enough to convince the Germans they were real field intelligence, hard-won and authentic. That cleverness only deepened Nazi trust. Eventually, MI5 realized the Nazis were receiving high-quality intelligence from an unknown source, and they traced it back to Arabelle. They brought him to London and officially turned him into Agent Garbo, one of their most brilliant double agents. Garbo's career reached its peak in 1944 with Operation Fortitude, the Allied deception plan to mislead Germany about where the invasion would happen. Garbo's mission was to make the Nazi leadership believe that any landing in Normandy would be only a minor diversion. The real main assault, they were told, would come at Pas-de-Calais, closer to Germany. Garbo sent a flood of supporting intelligence about Fusag, the fictitious first U.S. Army group, supposedly massing in southeast England. Each of his 27 imaginary agents contributed small reports that fit together perfectly, reinforcing the grand illusion. Then came the crucial twist. Just before D-Day, Garbo reported that one of his agents had failed to send a warning in time about the exact invasion date. It was a flawless excuse, designed to explain why he hadn't alerted the Nazis early enough about Normandy. On June 6, 1944, as the first waves hit the beaches of Normandy, Garbo sent an urgent message to Germany. Small units have landed, but we are still awaiting the real Fusag attack at Pas-de-Calais. That message became the key to Allied victory. The Nazis had spent 2 years building absolute trust in Agent Arabelle. So when news of Normandy arrived, the German High Command, especially Adolf Hitler, dismissed it. They trusted Garbo, their most reliable source, more than frontline reality. Garbo continued sending brilliant fake reports describing how Fusag, an army that didn't exist, was preparing to strike. And the result was disastrous for Germany. Hitler gave a strict order. Elite armored divisions at Calais were not to be moved to Normandy. Those powerful units, if deployed in the first critical hours, might have changed everything. Instead, they stood still, wasting precious time, waiting for an attack that never came. Garbo's deception kept Germany's reserve forces pinned down for 7 vital weeks after D-Day. Pujol's success was almost unbelievable. In 1944, the Nazis awarded him the Iron Cross for his outstanding contributions. A few months later, Britain's King George VI awarded him the Member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE. One man served both sides, and both sides honored him for loyalty that was, in truth, carefully manufactured. After the war, Pujol's life was still in danger. Fearing revenge from former Nazis, he and MI5 staged his death. The world was told he had died of malaria in Angola in 1949. Juan Pujol Garcia vanished from history. In reality, he lived quietly in Venezuela under a new identity, running a small bookstore, until a historian rediscovered him in 1984, just in time for the 40th anniversary of D-Day. Garbo didn't fight with guns or tanks. He fought with imagination and nerve. His phantom network helped save thousands of Allied soldiers by deceiving the enemy more perfectly than anyone thought possible. His story is a powerful reminder that in war, truth can be a weapon, sometimes the strongest one of all. If the story of D-Day's unknown guardian angel amazed you, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss our next intelligent secrets. Our focus will always be the human experience and the real truth behind history. But was Garbo the only agent to fool the Germans with a network that never existed? And which female spies helped cripple the Japanese Navy's greatest plans? Let's find out together in the next video.